peace talks stalled and diplomacy failing to deliver a breakthrough in the Iran war campaign, the United States now appears to be shifting away from the very justification it used to escalate the conflict. For months, Washington built its case around one central threat: Iran's nuclear program. But now, that narrative is evolving. What began as a war over the bomb is increasingly being reframed as a confrontation with Iran itself. Here is what is happening. For years, and even through the latest escalation, the US position was clear. Iran's nuclear ambitions were the red line. That was the trigger. That was the justification. But now, Marco Rubio is expanding that argument far beyond nuclear weapons, pointing instead to the very nature of the Iranian regime and its role across the Middle East.
If Iran was just a radical country run by radical people, but it would still be a problem. But they are revolutionary. In essence, they seek to expand and export their revolution. Not just what they do in Iran. That's why they're with Hezbollah in Lebanon, and that's why they supported Hamas. That's why they supported the militias in Iraq. They don't just seek to dominate Iran, they seek to dominate the region. And imagine that with a nuclear weapon.
This marks a clear shift in Washington's messaging. The threat is no longer being framed as just nuclear, but ideological, regional, and long-term. From backing groups like Hezbollah and Hamas to expanding influence across Iraq and beyond, the US is now signaling that Iran itself is the problem, with or without the bomb. And the shift goes even further. The United States is now framing Iran's geography as a weapon, especially through the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical energy choke points. Control over this narrow passage gives Iran the ability to disrupt global oil supplies and send shockwaves through international markets.
The Straits is basically the equivalent of an economic nuclear weapon that they're trying to use against the world. And they're bragging about it. They're putting up billboards in Tehran bragging about how they can hold 25% or 20% of the world's energy hostage.
An economic nuclear weapon. That is how Washington now describes Iran's ability to weaponize energy flows and hold a significant share of the world's oil supply at risk. This dramatically widens the battlefield, from nuclear facilities to global trade routes and economic warfare, raising the stakes far beyond the original justification of the conflict.